When I think of cancer, I think of it being life-changing.
I actually feel empowered and I feel relentless.
I feel grateful for never letting me take another day for granted.
Cancer means strength to me.
Fear, whether we're having the best day of our lives with our daughter, we don't know what the next day will bring.
I immediately think the word fight.
When I hear the word cancer, I think of life-changing.
The word I think of is hope. And through the HEADstrong Foundation, through the doctors, the team, the thousands of people that are working together as a team to beat this thing, how do you feel anything but hope?
I was diagnosed in this July, at the age of 38.
I was very fortunate. My mother was with us for over 14 months after her diagnosis. She was diagnosed on the 28th of December 2012, and she passed away on February 19th, 1 year ago today. She left the world with such a grace and such a dignity about her that it just reminds me of how beautiful a life she lived and how many people's lives she touched.
On September 4th of 2014, found out that my father had lung cancer, that the cancer had traveled to his brain, and my father passed away on September 13th, just a little over a week later.
I am 28 years old. At 27 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 3C ovarian cancer.
CHOP has never seen AML and HLH together, and how could this happen to our now 15-month-old child? You think your world is rocked when you find out your child has cancer. Your world is rocked and you're thrown into a ditch when you find out that this life-saving treatment didn't work.
I went undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for up to 30 weeks of my pregnancy, to a point where the doctors were going to send me to a psychologist because they just thought I was making up my symptoms. Within a day, I was literally diagnosed with a huge mass in my chest, and I had Hodgkin's disease.
I woke up and they're like, you're gonna have to start chemo and all this, and I was in the hospital for 5 straight weeks. At first I was kind of just speechless. I never talked to anybody about it, and I really realized how bad it was really going to be.
Finally they said, you know what, after 3 months, we can't tell what's causing these issues, but there was one slight shadow on one scan. We'd like to just do a small surgery, cut you open, look inside, and just make sure everything's okay. But in the middle of the surgery, they wake me up, and I've got this surgeon's face leaning down over me saying, Mr. Fitzgerald, we found something that we weren't expecting. You have a mass growing in your intestines. We need to take it out right now.
Yeah, my son Nicholas, my wife and I noticed a little whistle in his nose. He ended up going to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and that was on a Saturday where he had his adenoids removed. The following Tuesday, I got a phone call from the doctor telling us that it was malignant. And from that point, me and my wife discussed on a game plan on how we were going to tell our son.
The HEADstrong Foundation is an organization like no other. I started volunteering with HEADstrong about 4 years ago. And it was before I ever understood what cancer was like, before I ever understood how cancer could impact a family and could devastate a family. The HEADstrong mission never truly made sense until it was my family.
You know, it helps people in their deepest, darkest days to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
It made me realize that I was never alone, that there were other people out there that were going through what we were going through, or worse. You know, that if I ever needed anything, that somebody would be there. And when my father was going through his cancer and, you know, ultimately his death, HEADstrong was there.
I was already taking days off from work, and the mortgage bill was there, and the electricity bill was there, and in the mail I see a HEADstrong envelope. And I opened it, and there was a check in there. And there wasn't a note, there wasn't anything, just a check signed by Cheryl Cavalori. and I just started to cry.
There's been enough burden in our lives that we need to focus on our family, we need to focus on each other, and ensuring Lucy stays healthy. So I don't think that we would be as far as we are today if it wasn't for HEADstrong, and we are so fortunate to have crossed paths with them.
To have someone that understands to talk to, because there's not many people out there.
We were waiting for Nick to have a procedure done. He asked for a piece of paper and pencil, and he was doodling, and I said to him, I used to call him the Dago. I'm like, Dago, what's going on? He said, this is going to be the logo for the foundation. I'm like, what foundation? He says, yeah, we're going to have a foundation, and we're going to try traveling teams, and we're going to do this, and we're going to make life better for kids. And I said, okay. I didn't know anything about what he was doing, but he did. And from that point on, it was the start, and from that, it just took off.
My name is Lauren Forlenza. I'm a Hodgkin's disease survivor, 15 years. I'm the mother of 4 children, and I am a real person.
My name's Michael Shelley. I'm 15 years old. I go to Marple Newtown High School. I have Burkitt's, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I play football, basketball, and lacrosse, and I am a real person.
I'm Casey Boy. I'm the producer of the Preston and Steve Show on WMMR. My father died of lung cancer, and I'm a real person.
My name is Kelly Calavecchio. I'm 28 and I work as a registered nurse, and I am 1 year remission of stage 3C ovarian cancer, and I am a real person.
I'm Monica Fickinger. I'm 39. I'm a real person. I have cancer, and I'm kicking its butt.